California regulator adopts EV mandate for Uber, Lyft, and ride-hail fleets. Right? They want the companies to switch over fully to EV by the end of 2029. So 2030, all Uber and Lyft drivers must be EV compliant. But then Uber and Lyft have their demands from the state, but they're not paying in. They're not taking care of the workers. They're not putting in anything into worker compensation, but they have this huge list of demands. It's a joke, right? And California should leverage, right? They should leverage this power. Hey, this is what we want from you, right? You are not doing anything in return. And they got to strike a deal, just like they should have struck a deal on Proposition 22. But they didn't. So California is being weak, and I don't think that these regulators should give in to all the crazy demands. Now, California's clean air regulator on Thursday adopted rules to mandate that nearly all trip on Uber's and Lyft's ride-hailing platforms have to be in electric vehicles over the next few years, the first such regulation by a US state. Now, in the next few years, what does that mean in the next few years? In the next 2, 3, 4 years, right? What about all those people that went out and made commitments to Honda Civics, Toyota Camrys? Do they suddenly not qualify? We have a lot of questions, right? Do you have to then drive maybe another 2, 3, 4 years, and then you're forced to go out to get an EV vehicle if you want to be on these platforms? We need answers. In written comments to the agency ahead of Thursday's vote, Uber and Lyft said they supported the regulation's goals, but called for more government to aid their many lower and middle income drivers with the cost of the transition. Oh yeah, by the way, California, you need to pay for these drivers. We are in the clear. We don't get involved there, says Uber and Lyft. The rules adopted through a unanimous vote by the California Air Resources Board, CARB, mandate that EVs account for 90% of ride-hailing vehicle miles traveled by 2030, right? That is a lesser goal than the companies themselves have set. Both Uber and Lyft last year committed to converting their US fleets entirely to EVs by that year. But the companies said achieving those goals is unrealistic, right? So they make these promises that they will be compliant by 2030, but hang on, that's unrealistic. So what are Dara Akosha and Logan Green? Are they reversing course now, right? So as they said, the companies said achieving these goals is unrealistic without additional government subsidies for EVs and charging infrastructure. They want subsidies. They want the country, they want the US to pay for vaccination rides, advertise them as free rides, but they want the states to pay. They want the states to pay for everything, but they hide their taxes over in Holland in 50 shell companies, right? It's wrong. You got to hold these companies accountable. You want something, you got to give up something. That's how it works in life. The company said CARB's targets were based on uncertain and unrealistic assumptions, risking harm to drivers if EV and charging availability does not expand as projected by regulators. Several of CARB's 14 board members shared concerns over the impact on drivers during Thursday's hearing, criticizing the companies for not doing more to help them. There's no way for us to make sure that the companies actually bear the cost to address the greenhouse gases and air pollution they're creating and profiting off, said board member Nathan Fletcher. And right he is. The total cost of meeting the 2030 standard could reach $1.73 billion, according to the Union of Concerned Scientists, a nonprofit research and advocacy organization. Uber and Lyft have partnerships with rental companies and charging station providers to lower drivers' EV costs. Uber has also said it will invest $800 million through 2025 to help drivers globally switch to EVs. The question of who will finance the costly transition is complicated, but the driver's status as independent contractors, not employees, leaving regulators little ability to protect them. Some 20 groups submitted comments on the regulation, including General Motors, and Alphabet incorporates its self-driving unit Waymo. For the vehicle industry, the rules offer a way to ensure EV sales at a time when many automakers pivot to battery-powered production in response to tighter emissions regulations, but fear lackluster consumer demand. Steve Douglas, Vice President at Auto Industry Group Alliance for Automotive Innovation, urged CARB to expand EV rules to the taxi industry and other public-private fleets. The simple truth is, sales require purchases, and sale requirements should be matched to purchase requirements. It's very simple, right? So what do you think? And now this is California, right? So this doesn't go for New Mexico or Florida or Texas. This is California. But I'm sure other states will start adopting these policies. Huge shout out to Curial. Get the app, ladies and gentlemen. I love the slogan, anything delivered, right? If you want to deliver sushi, food, beer, dry cleaning, you name it, and earn up to $30 an hour, download the app. Also, shout out to Display Ride. If you want every trip recorded and uploaded into the cloud, get yourself this rideshare monitoring platform. The links are below. I'm excited to hear your feedback, California. Tell me what you think. Be safe out there.